you know, Doug, among many things, Doug has been he's been a civil servant since before I was even conceived. So, you know, he's Doug. He reads, eats, and bleeds Denver. And you've all heard the term political puppets. I'm sure you've all heard that. Well, you know what? I'm here to tell you, Doug is owned by no one. Okay? The only marionette that pulls Doug's strings is his huge heart and his love for the community of Denver, the people of Colorado, and that's you and that's me.
Doug is the kind of person that is going to lead us into the political arena that is going to be successful for Denver. And what I'd like to do is, as I have done, everybody, be sure to open up your wallets, open up your checkbooks, get some money to Doug. It takes money to run a campaign, and that's what we've got to do. With that, I'd like to introduce Doug Linkhart.
Denver is not doing so well economically. The rest of the country is not doing so well economically. But we've got two great assets in Denver that make it possible for us to do better. Number one, we have full control as a city, a county, a school district, a judicial district. We have no excuses. We have $1 billion budget just at the city. We have another $1 billion at the school district. We have no reason that Denver can't do whatever it wants to do. You guys are the ones that have the power to make that happen, because you're the ones who say what's important. And I'm running based on what's important, not what's unimportant. What's unimportant is putting people in jail for being on alcohol or drugs or driving violations or being homeless or having mental illness. We've got 3 times as many people in jail now as when I moved here in 1980. Crime hasn't gone up, it's gone down. What's unimportant is spending money on too many police who spend too much of their time running after minor crimes like loitering and trespassing and doing these kinds of things and putting those people in jail. We spend too much money on Xcel Energy. I'll bet some people can relate to that. Because you know, the city alone, the city spends $29 million a year on energy bills. And if we would conserve energy instead of spending at the back end, we would save you taxpayer money. We spend too much of our resources on these kinds of things. We don't spend enough on school programs, preschool, after school, summer school. We don't spend enough on kids, on adults who need mental health treatment. We don't spend enough money on drug treatment. There's a line at Denver Health, people waiting for drug treatment, and at the Coalition for the Homeless. So we don't invest enough. We spend too much, but we don't invest in the right kinds of things. So that's what I'm talking about, is investing in community, engaging the community, bringing folks together to spend wisely and make this city as good as its people. So thank you so much. I mean, my base is neighborhoods, it's environmentalists, it's Democrats, it's labor, and some of you fit into those camps, some of you don't. I talked to the Republicans a couple weekends ago too, they're okay. So, you know, there are people in this community that I have worked with for now 17 years as a public servant, as a state senator, as a state representative, as a councilman at large. And when I go to forums and the other candidates are up there, whether it's 5 or 6 or 17 or whatever, the difference between them and me is they're talking and I'm telling you what I've already done. Every idea they've had, I've already worked on. So I've been there for you, I've been there for the community, I've reduced the city budget, I've reduced the jail population, I've created jobs. We do need money. We are intentionally not spending as much as everybody else. If I had $1 million, I would fund a youth program, not a bunch of commercials on TV. We'll take any amount that you can give, because our campaign is based on the community. That's where I come from, that's who you represent, and that's what's going to win this race in May. So thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate your support.